From KTVU, Fox 2 News, couple rescued from San Francisco house fire. Flames poured out of a home in San Francisco where a couple was pulled to safety. They are shaken up but grateful to be alive. One of the residents is the dog walker from Alamo Square who was the target of racist incidents over the past few weeks. And you have to love how there is no use of the word allegedly, right? When you have a criminal illegal shooting at security guards and beating up cops, they constantly say allegedly. But when this guy, who may or may not have received a racist doll with a rope around its neck, there's no use of the word allegedly. And my name's Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'm absolutely begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
Because the algorithm is absolutely monstrous. It would help me a lot if you engage with the content, and it would cost you nothing. But if you want to help me even more and spend a little bit of money, go ahead and buy my book, New York City 2020, Gotham Unglued. But this is in a matter of weeks. We went from, a racist doll showed up at a dog walker's apartment with a rope around it. And I, at that time, which was only a couple weeks ago, said, well, there's no crime here. And he obviously saw that video, so he figured, I'll create a crime.
Flames pouring out of a home in San Francisco where a couple was pulled to safety. Tonight, the family's shaken up but grateful to be alive.
I'm glad that me and my wife are safe, and the dogs too.
I was just close to losing my mom and my dad.
Tonight, 7 adults now displays.
Bro, just imagine. Now, look, we don't know for sure, but it's completely phony, allegedly. Most likely. We, of course, remember the race hoax, small town Texas mayor.
Gina, Eric, people out here are scratching their heads, asking themselves, aren't we in 2024? Both the mayor and the chief of police tell us that they find this very, very troubling.
I pull out a note. It said, get out of this race now.
A threatening political package with a pervasive punch.
It's a slap, especially on a black man's face, that he has to open up mail like that and see something like that.
And I decided I'd follow up on that. Of course, there's been no investigation, and we don't know who sent the threatening letter, but we do know that he lost that re-election to a black woman. So now this is, I guess, the follow-up to the neighbors raising money. Of course, it was all about a GoFundMe. But since there was no crime, he had to take it up one level. And I can almost guarantee that there will be no more follow-up on this. Right? I mean, do you think the Bay Area media is going to deep dive into this with the cops and the fire department and eventually tell you that this doesn't add up? And what level, what plan do you have to be on to still think that this is going to fly, right? Eventually you're going to get caught, or maybe you won't because it's in San Francisco. But how detached from reality do you have to be to fake a racist doll hoax and then step it up one level only a week or two later? I don't know, maybe multiple levels actually, but a week or two later, and set your parents' house on fire and pretend that somebody else did it, allegedly?
Following that devastating fire right near San Francisco's Alamo Square. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Meeback.
And I'm Julie Hayner. One of those adults is a San Francisco dog walker who has been the target of racist incidents over the past few weeks.
Yeah. And that did not get widespread enough coverage. And that's why we got here.
New at 10 tonight, KTVU's Amber Lee joins us now. She's live in San Francisco. And Amber, an emotional and challenging time for this family.
No doubt.
And just for the record, no use of the word allegedly. They're just taking this as fact. When stone cold criminals run roughshod over citizens in New York and San Francisco, they are constantly peppering the word allegedly. But here they're just taking it as fact and selling it to you like it's completely true. And it's not even remotely believable.
Julie, now Terry Williams, the dog walker, tells me his parents are okay, but take a look behind me. You can see that the home, which the...
Bro, I'm sorry. Just think about the... Bro. Okay, sure. I'm sure, oh, there's a lot of racists in San Francisco, and somebody probably did this, right? Oh, yeah. But do you think that somebody set this man's house on fire and sent him a racist doll with a rope around its neck just because he's black? And I'm not condoning this behavior at all, but he did nothing else. He was literally just walking dogs around the neighborhood, even though he's like 50 years old and he lives with his parents, but that's a completely different story. He's just walking dogs around the neighborhood, a pillar of his community, and somebody in San Francisco in Alamo Square said, I don't like him.
What, you lost, boy? Move on, boy. We don't like your kind around here. You better get out of here before something bad happens. That's right.
What, bro? It's not even...
The family has owned for more than 5 decades was destroyed and red tagged by the city. The family plans to rebuild. Citizen video shows a fire break out at this 3-story home on Grove Street in San Francisco's Western Addition neighborhood just after 11:30 Tuesday morning. Fire crews say they rescued an older couple inside.
I'm glad that me and my wife are safe. And the dogs too, but that's secondary.
81-year-old Ludi Williams tells me his 76-year-old wife smelled smoke, and he went to see where it was coming from and saw the flames.
I started getting nauseated.
Well, here's what should happen, is that this is a very serious, heinous hate crime. So investigate it. Investigate it deep, thoroughly. Lob taxpayer dollars at it and find out what really happened and let us know.
The garage door couldn't go no further.
The couple's son, Terry Williams, also lives in the home, but he was not there when the fire broke out. He says he...
And, yeah, okay, the couple's son, and whatever, they're 80 years old, I'm sure, you know, the son is taking care of the parents or whatever, but it's like, do we really... First of all, it's highly unlikely that somebody in San Francisco just thought, I don't like this guy. And if he did do something bad, this is certainly not the way to take care of him, right? To terrorize him with a racist doll and set his house on fire. But he's just a normal guy? No, he's probably a little bit on dope. He's walking dogs. He's 50 plus years old. And the only reason all of this bad stuff happened to him in San Francisco is simply because he's black. It's just not believable.
He rushed home to find the house engulfed in flames.
My mom's disabled. Like, she can't move around. So all I can think about, my mom will burn the house. One of my work.
Nope. He's clearly lying. And look, a couple weeks ago, I said, okay, he did this hoax to get his GoFundMe up and running, which he did. I think he raised like $10,000, which should have been more than enough to take the W, bro, and walk away. But it couldn't do it. So he had to level up. And I can almost be sure that we're not going to hear any more about this, right? Just like with the mayor in Texas, I had to do the research. I had to do I guess it wasn't even really a deep dive, but when the noose showed up at his office, that was reported widely. TMZ reported that. When I just tried to follow up, there was one local paper in a small town publication in Texas said, well, they didn't have a follow-up. They just said, oh, yeah, he lost re-election, right? So who's gonna tell you the truth about this? Who in San Francisco is going to tell the truth about this case?
Worst time was to have my parents burn up in the house.
In recent weeks, on 2 separate occasions, Williams says he found packages thrown over the front gate of the home that contained items, including a black-faced doll with a noose around the neck and racist slurs written on it. San Francisco police tell me they're investigating those incidents as hate crimes. Williams is a popular dog walker. He tells me he's suspicious about whether this fire is arson and related to the racist incidents.
I don't know, but I pray.
Yeah, you know what? It probably is related to the racist incidents.
I pray to God it's not. I pray to God it's not.
Williams is grateful his parents and 3 dogs are alive. He was at City Hall when the fire broke out, talking to the mayor's office about the racist incidents.
Okay, yeah. He was at City Hall talking to the mayor about racist incidents and what they were going to do about that. How they were going to put the kibosh on the not really crimes. And in that window, when he was talking about the fake hate crime hoaxes, another one happened at his house, and people are just willing to believe this.
He's an avid community person. He works hard. He does what he does with his dogs and with other community. He walks everybody's dogs. For somebody that has a heart like that to be treated the way he's been.
look at this. They blur the doll. Oh, it's so offensive. There's a blackface doll. It says Terry Williams on the headband, but they couldn't even show it on the news because it's so scary and oppressive.
Being treated to be a native of San Francisco is not okay.
Fire officials have not said what caused the fire or where it started. Fire crews were able to respond quickly to the first 911 call in just over a minute. They credit people calling for help in saving the life of Williams' mother, who was trapped on the 3rd floor.
One of the victims didn't have minutes left before this could have been tragically different.
On May 11th, there was a rally supporting Williams after the racist incidents.
And did you see him there waving in front of the crowd? And this is why. This is exactly it. I watched this video. I talked about this report and said, yeah, it sounds awful. It probably didn't happen. But even if it did, what's the crime? And like I said, he saw that and said, I'll create a crime.
Friends and neighbors are supporting him in the aftermath of this fire.
What friends and neighbors are supporting him, right? So this is like a litmus test of the brainwashing. Nobody in this crowd thought, I don't know, this doesn't really add up. Like, seems a little strange. You don't have to be super offensive about it and say that this guy's quite clearly lying as a 60-year-old dog walker with his 85-year-old parents. It's all an absolute scam. You don't have to be that. You don't have to be that mean and nasty about it. But nobody thought, I don't know, not really adding up, right? The Jussie hoax was, 5 or 6 years ago now?
You know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. You're going to Subway.
Subway is open 24 hours. Like, people kill me when they say things like that because it's like Subway is open 24 hours for a reason. So that when you're hungry at night and you ain't got no food, you go to Subway.
I guess that came and went. The Arcola mayor hoax was early in, April, mid-April. And I can almost assume he knows nothing about that, which is fine. It's a small town in Texas. But these people, these old, sort of boomer vibes people think, especially in San Francisco, that they can just get away with this every single time and nobody's going to question it at all. And of course, if you do question it, that's going to be a problem for sure.
Gotta try to fix this. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna have to do it.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna, I'm gonna have to rebuild. Let me guess. Are you gonna start another GoFundMe? And here's the one of the Instagram posts from the fire story. Large fire hits Alamo Square house after resident received racist threats. Allegedly received racist threats. I mean, what? Even if he received a doll that looked like it had some Basquiat drawings on it, that doesn't necessarily mean racism. And the fact that you guys are so quick to call it racism leads me to believe you know exactly who did it. And here's the top comment. I wonder if they did it to themselves. So all of the media, the police, the fire department, they that didn't even cross their mind. Of course this is racism. But the top comment on Instagram says, wait, what's going on here? And then you can see he gets lambasted in the comments. What WTF does that mean? What's wrong with you? As though it's just completely out of the question. Oh, how dare you? And then when, of course, they're never going to follow up on this, but when it does come out and they sweep it under the rug and one outlet reports that it was completely fake, none of these people are going to have anything to say. Exactly what I just said. So angry when I just said, I wonder. It's an honest question, yeah. So people get it, bro. There's apparently there's still some creepy, brainwashed, weirdo sheep who just, it's just beyond the pale to even question if this is real. Now, of course it's not. I mean, quite obviously it's not real. But to even question it is just, what's wrong with you? And that's why this type of stuff keeps happening. And just for good measure, this is one of the original articles. Neighbors rally to support San Francisco dog walker targeted by racist threats. And of course, there was, even if that happened and somebody spent money on a doll and painted it up, there was no crime there. And like I said, if you want to have a party in the park, just go ahead and have a party in the park. And do we really think there's a 55-year-old man walking dogs in San Francisco, living with his folks? I mean, San Francisco is incredibly expensive. You're obviously not paying that rent on a dog walker salary. And I'd be willing to bet that there are some drugs and or booze involved in that situation. And that's why he needed money. Here, they want me to run. Black San Francisco dog walker faces down racist threats. And you did all of that because you wanted to launch a GoFundMe and get a little bit more money. But I assume that some people were saying, wait, well, what's the crime here? And there was none. So we created one. And quite literally launched a litmus test to see how deep the brainwashing goes and who will blindly believe this. He knows the truth, and he nearly sacrificed his parents in the process. But I mean, who knows? Maybe they were in on it.